Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. here in New York City. Hello, everybody. I'm Matt Douglas Scipio, joined this week by an incredibly interesting character. His name's Patrick Welsh. He brought a young lady with him. I don't know if he kidnapped the poor girl. She looks scared. But we're going to talk about the Spooks Inspectors of Savannah Paranormal. If you're wondering, where did Amelia the Pitbull Chapman go? Well, Amelia is on assignment. She'll join us later in the broadcast. In the meantime, you're stuck with me, the Big Daddy Mad Dog. Well, I'll tell you what. Patrick, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
He's a very soft-spoken guy, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. He's not quite the big mouth that I am. And you're joined tonight by a young lady. Her name is Courtney. Let me introduce everybody to Courtney. This is Courtney Bautista, and of course, Patrick Welsh. Patrick is the founder of the Paranormal Society of Savannah, Georgia. And I came across Patrick. Actually, the truth be told, I've been trolling Patrick for a little while now. I've been trolling Savannah Paranormal for a little bit. So, and I got some questions. So, first of all, welcome to the show. Courtney, relax. Don't worry about it. There's only about 10.5 million people watching. Or listening, I should say. Listening. Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. It's all good. Patrick, let's talk about this. First of all, you seem like a normal guy. You look like a fairly normal guy. Why the hell would you want to chasing spooks inspectors, chasing ghosts? Why? What's in it for you, kid?
There's nothing in it for me really, other than I enjoy it. It's a really good hobby. When I was 6 years old, I'm 50 now. I'll be 51 day before Halloween.
You're just a baby. You're just a baby.
And so I saw my first ghost when I was 6 years old at my grandfather's house. And my dad's side's Catholic, and they didn't believe in ghosts or anything. The only ghost is the Holy Ghost and all that stuff. And you were going to go to hell if you even talked about it. But my mom's side was very open to it, and we just loved it. And being born the day before Halloween, I just I love it.
So you were born on Mischief Night?
Yes, sir.
And you've been raising mischief ever since. Courtney, you seem like a fairly level-headed young lady. How the hell did you get roped into this stuff? How'd you get rooked into this, Court?
I met Patrick about 3 years ago, and I moved down to Savannah. I personally have always been interested in the spirit side of everything. I like to find the scientific part of it. I like to try to either debunk it if I have to, or there's always something behind it.
It's interesting you said that. A lot of people go in with the mindset of trying to prove spirit energy rather than disprove it, because it's much easier to disprove it than it is to prove it. People don't understand that. It's a lot harder if you're and I've been on a lot of ghost investigations, a lot, when I tell you a lot, okay? And it is far, far harder to prove the existence of spirit than to disprove it. Because any number of things can be chalked up to supposed spirit activity. You know, a number of things. Patrick, you said something interesting. You do it as kind of a hobby. It's a fun hobby for you. When does it stop being fun and take on the realm of business for you? When does it get real for you?
I don't know really. I mean, we don't do this. We don't make any money. We have regular jobs, and
Well, when I
I don't know.
say
It's just
yeah, Patrick, let me interject for a moment. When I say, when does it get real for you? I'm not talking about your ability to make or not make money. I'm talking about when does the energy get real for you? When do you realize, hey, this is not fun right now. This is serious shit.
whenever we really start getting some activity. It's one of those things where, we go on an investigation and we're excited, we're pumped, and we're ready. We know the history and everything, and we're there. You're there for a couple hours, you're getting nothing, right? You're bored. You start saying, well, this sucks, and then out of the blue, you get that one EVP, or you get that door slam or whatever, or noise, and then it starts to get fun again.
Yeah.
We've been on so many investigations, we don't get shit. We don't get nothing.
Yeah.
And, a lot of people say, well, why do you keep doing it? And I said, well, it's a hobby. It's kind of like fishing.
Yeah.
Right? Like to go fishing. When you go fishing, a lot of times you won't catch anything, or you don't want to give it a nibble, but you keep going because you enjoy it. And we
Can
enjoy
I tell you
it.
something?
And when it stops being fun.
I'll tell you, I want to tell you something. I'm going to stop you right there because I am so happy. I'm so happy to hear you say that. And I'm thrilled that you used a fishing comparison because everybody knows that watches and listens to this show. I'm a psychic. People think that you can turn being a psychic on and off. Okay. I can't turn it off. Okay. But by the same token, spirit does not show up at will. Okay. It shows up when it wants to show up. I can't command spirit to be here. It's going to show up when it's damn good and ready and on its time, not mine. So, and people need to understand that guys like Patrick who go out and do this. And by the way, he's not making a hell of a lot of money because he's relying on donations, largely donations to make any money off of this gig. But by the same token, this is what he wants to do. It's fun for him. It kills a little time, and it opens up his mind to other avenues, which is great. I'm glad to hear you say that. And I want people to know you will do, if you ever go on investigations with anyone, you'll do 3, 4, 5 hours where you may not get anything. And then you may have an hour. Yeah. And you may have an hour solid where it doesn't stop. That hour may seem like 3 hours because it's so busy. I've had that happen. Courtney, you're the evidence manager of this Paranormal Society of Savannah, Georgia. As the evidence manager, what are some of the most unusual items of evidence you've had to collect?
Well, we have one of my first investigations with the team. It was me and one of our other case managers, Sarah. She was actually in the office with us at this time, and we were at a Grove Point plantation, and this is where we had a boo bear, which is kind of like an EMF meter inside of a bear, and we had it sit on the table. Okay. Now, we were trying to get in touch with a spirit of an 8-year-old boy that is said to play hide and seek and come out whenever he pleases. Well, he wasn't really being that active, so we were going to encourage him by placing our teddy bear, which he's probably more familiar with than a piece of, block equipment.
Sure.
Well, we asked if he could touch the bear to make the pretty colors light up, and well, he didn't just touch it; he flung it off the table
Really?
about 3 feet away. Yeah.
Interesting. And so what was the end result of that? Did he communicate with you verbally, vocally
We
through
got
a
nothing out of
EVP
that.
meter?
No, we got nothing out of that. We did get some SLS footage prior to this,
All right.
which is how we figured out he might have been in the parlor room where we ended up. But
Oh,
other
okay.
than that, that was the last activity we like got from him. But you can tell he
Right.
probably was not in the best mood after that.
Yeah, interesting. Patrick, you've been doing this for a few years now, right? You've been at this for a little while.
Yes,
When
sir.
did you become? At what point did you say to yourself, "I'm going to go balls to the walls here. I'm going to start spending some money on equipment. I'm going to go buy, some little toys to play with." Yeah, that's what, by the way, folks, that's what men call gadgets. They're toys to us because we like gadgets. I got a studio full of gadgets. I really do.
Oh yeah.
And
Uh,
so what was the that point where you said, I got to spend some money now?
yeah, for like, 10, 12 years, my dad, who's on the team as well, um, we were always, hey, let's buy this, let's buy that, and it was so expensive. And
Yeah,
so we were just kind of doing it on our own, a little recorder or whatnot. But when
sure.
COVID hit, we had a lot of family and friends passing away. I'm a big guy. I used to weigh 530 something pounds. Now I
Yeah.
weigh about 350. I had the gastric bypass and everything. So, but I had that a
Good for
year
you.
before
God bless
COVID.
you.
I appreciate it. So I told my dad, I'm like, it's now or never. Everybody's sitting at home, right?
Yeah.
Working from home. I was lucky enough, I was considered essential. So I would get to take off and go to all these places. There was nobody there. So I
Yeah.
would go and do these little live videos. And then my dad was like, hey, we need to buy a camera, a good camera, not, crazy, just a little 4K camera or whatever, and things like that. So then we looked into, of course, we looked at the ghost ops and the St. August ghost teams and everything. And we were kind of looking, okay, let's get an EMF meter, we can do this and this. So we started buying little things. And then my brother-in-law joined, and then one of my best friends from childhood joined. So it was us four for a while. And then it just kind of took off. Everybody was kind of digging our videos and stuff and
Yeah.
everything. So we decided to have a paranormal class where we had taken people with us.
Sure.
They just didn't pan out, man. They wasn't from Earth. I mean, a lot of them were just crazy, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term. And we wanted them to be
Yeah.
cool with us, or either they
Sure.
got bored, right? And we told them, listen, man, we can't make this stuff happen. You got to be
That's
quiet.
exactly what I was just saying. Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
constantly on their phone and stuff. So I said, why don't we have a little class and teach them what we learned, so that they
Sure.
don't make the same stupid mistake. We don't know everything. We're
Exactly.
learning every day. We're learning every day. So um,
Good.
we just said, hey, let's have a class. And if you see the young lady in the picture behind me, that's Sarah. That's the one Courtney's talking about.
Yes.
So me and her were, teenage friends. So she was like, hey, you forgot about me. And I'm like, no, I didn't know you were interested. So little by little, we started picking people. Courtney was at the first class. She was on another team. They hadn't been doing anything.
Right.
So let's
I
go.
ditched him.
And then we just took off. We started buying little things, and we had a lot of friends
Sure.
that were like, hey, man, what do you need? And we're like, I don't know. What do we need? So, and they would just buy little, spirit boxes, the SB7s,
Yeah.
SB11s and things. So, and then we just started going that route.
Well, let's talk about that. Oh, before we do, by the way, folks, I have a rather sizable list of the latest in ghost hunting equipment from the professionals, the ghost hunters. But before I get into that, let me share a story with Courtney and Patrick. This is absolute true story and documented too. Documented story. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
and I live not too far from Philadelphia, they give walking ghost tours in Philadelphia, and they do historical walking tours. One of the tours that they did was called the John Payton House. You can look it up. It's in Philadelphia. It was the home to many presidents at the time, including George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, John Quincy Adams, a bunch of people that you know through history. In this house, and it's one of many stops along the way, but in this particular house, the tour guide said, and I'll never forget this. The tour guide said, "You're free to roam around the house now. Feel free to take your camera out and start taking pictures if you like." All I had was a cell phone on me. So I took some, I didn't think about it. I gave it no thought. I took my cell phone out and I'm taking pictures. And I'm taking pictures over here. And and all of a sudden, and I can't even tell you why. All of a sudden, I turned around and there was this big grandfather clock. Now, you guys know what a grandfather clock is. They're huge. This is like 7 foot tall, and it had to weigh a ton at least. It was solid oak. All right. Hand carved, Patrick. Hand carved, right? So I took a picture of it because I thought it was a neat clock, right? And then I put my phone away because it was time to go on with the tour. I thought nothing of it. I get home. I take my phone out. I'm going through the pictures I took. Do you know, in the face of that clock was George Washington staring back at me? I can't make that up.
No way.
I swear to you. I'm not even. Cool. I cannot. I swear. Patrick, listen to me. I swear.
You got the picture still.
The truth, my hand to God, there was a face staring back at me. In fact, the person that I was with at the time said that she saw 2 other faces in there. I tried to see what she was saying, but all I kept seeing was George Washington because it was clear as day to me. But all I had was a cell phone. By the way, we're going to talk about why cell phones are important to ghost hunters. But, Patrick, let's go over the list, my friend.
Sure.
They say that the well-qualified ghost hunter should have a Maglite quality flashlight. They should have a Phoenix headlight, Phoenix headlamp, a rechargeable Phoenix headlamp. They should have a Bell & Howell camcorder. Why a Bell & Howell? Because it's got high-resolution IR capabilities. That's infrared for you non-techies out there. You have to have a Tomahawk EVP meter. It's the best of the best. A FLIR high-resolution heat sensor camera. FLIR, by the way, is where you get the best heat signatures. If they're Spirit, it's going to be caught on a FLIR camera. Kaiser brand thermal monocular. Now, what's a thermal monocular? I want to tell people what a thermal monocular is. A binocular, or binoculars as we call them, a binocular are those things that you look at like this, right? A monocular is this thing that you look through. It's one pipe. But they have thermal monoculars. They're electric, electronic, and they have them in high res. Why do you need one? Simple, because it will singular your vision. It will not create a double vision for you like a binocular will. They say to get an Olympus digital voice recorder, an Olympus digital voice recorder, the best on the market. A Black & Decker backup battery pack. They say, by the way, you guys carry batteries with you or do you plug in?
A shit ton.
Is that
No,
okay?
we have
Ton
a
batteries.
shitload of batteries
And battery packs.
All
and
right,
battery
too.
packs. Yeah.
Good. Yeah, they say that the Black & Decker battery packs hold up the best. They recommend safe transport and storage cases to transport your equipment. A Bell & Howell EMF meter, use only Bell & Howell. Why? Here's why. Again, it has IR capability, high-res IR capability. LED rechargeable torches for light, portable light. Two-way radios or walkie-talkies. They say never use your cell phone to communicate on a ghost hunt. Why? I'm going to tell you why. The cell phone we're going to talk about last, but never use your cell phone to talk on while you're doing an investigation. Digital watch. Carry a digital watch with you for precision accuracy, for time stamping. They also tell me to have an infrared thermometer with you for heat signatures, also to time those heat signatures. They say no ghost hunter crew should be without a spirit box or a Frank box. Okay, we're going to find out what kind you got. And the last thing before we talk about cell phones, never, ever, ever allow anyone in your crew to smoke while investigating.
Correct.
And now you're saying to yourself, well, why, Mad Dog? Why don't you want anybody to smoke while you're investigating a haunt? Here's why. It's very simple. Spirit uses the sense of smell to tell us they're there. If I'm with someone, inside or outside, and I see a cigarette, if they don't work for me, they're going to get an earful. And if they work for me, they're getting fired on the spot. Okay? And I bring that up because, interestingly enough, Patrick, that was captured on one of your investigations on tape. I'm going to show you tonight who was smoking. Now, let's tell everybody why a cell phone is the ghost hunter's best friend. Here's why. 2 reasons. Actually, 3 reasons, but 2 really great ones. Number 1, it has built-in IR, infrared. Okay? It's also an incredibly accurate calibrator for where spirit is. Cell phones can measure and people don't know this, but cell phones can measure electromagnetic energy. They can also tell you where an electromagnetic field is. But the third reason you might want to carry a phone with you relates back to the story I just told about taking a picture at the John Payton house in Philadelphia. So, what do you guys use? I'm going to shut up now, Patrick, and it's all you. Tell me what you got.
Sure. You want to go ahead first, Courtney? So basically what we do, we have team members. We tell them, listen, you can use our equipment, right? It's the team's equipment. Sign it out. But there are several things like you mentioned that we say you've got to take along with you. Now you mentioned cell phones. We tell them you can use your cell phones, but we say put them on airplane mode. So we put them on airplane mode because we found out if you're using your cell phone and you've got a REM pod, which we have several of or whatnot, it'll set them off. It'll set off your EMF meters, K2 meters, whatever. It'll set those off as well. Same thing with your walkies. Be careful with your walkies.
And that's exactly why. That's and let me just confirm that for you, because that's why I just said a moment ago, cell phones are excellent for detecting EMF activity. If you have an EMF meter, shut your phone off or put it on airplane. Yeah, go ahead, Patrick. You're absolutely right. Go ahead.
No, you're fine. So we do use the REM pods, and we have several. We've got the REM pod, and we've got the REM pod with it. We've got grids that we like to use. We've got, God, it's so hard to find now. Those are the best, yes. But good luck finding one. It's kind of like an ovulus. Good luck trying to find one of those now.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
for
crazy
real.
about the ovulus, but
Yeah.
it is kind of like on our list. Like, hey, we really want, but it's like, do we really want to spend that much? But now, they discontinued it. Now they're coming up with a new one, whatever. So, I mean, we've got SLS cameras that we like using. I'll tell you a cool story later on about the SLS camera when we went to the Long Cane Massacre site up in was Hodges, Abbeville, South Carolina. Oh Lord! In our bag of tricks, we use a lot of trigger objects. We use cat balls because they're cheap, right? And if they go out, whatever, who cares? They're $3-4, whatever. We use the Boo Bears. We like using them. We like using Boo Bears because if you have a child, right, we feel like they would be more drawn to it and communicate with us if they see the bear. Hey, can you touch the bear? And the bear
Absolutely. Sure.
Female, someone that was abused or someone that was mentally handicapped at the time, was in a home or something or was abused really bad. They'll feel more comfortable coming around that than they will. Hey, can you make this device turn green or red? They don't know what the hell that is. You know what I mean? They're probably like, what is this? I have no idea what this is. So, but we have lots of other things. We got the spirit boxes. We don't have a Frank's box, but we do have, some devices that'll help clean it up for us.
We have the honeycomb.
Yeah, we've got the honeycomb is what we use.
Okay.
And it works really well.
Sure.
We like little gadgets. They're fun, but you don't need them. That's what we tell, people that want to go ghost hunting with us and stuff. And like, yeah, they're cool to have, but you don't need them unless you really want it. It's cool to have. So, we use
and if you're willing to spend the money.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're willing to spend the money. Look, here's the thing. If you're not making any money on it, it's kind of defeats the purpose to spend money if you're not making any. But the other thing is that let's say you wake up one day and say, you know what? I'm over this ghost hunting stuff. At least you're not out thousands and thousands of dollars.
Exactly.
And so you have the option to use the equipment you have. And I'm sure you bought some of it used. I'm sure you bought some new. But, the idea is don't invest a lot of money unless you plan on making a lot of money. And I think that's a good thing that you at least took the time, Patrick, to educate people that were joining your team. And I want to talk about your team right now. I'm going to show a short video of Patrick's team. And these are the crew of Savannah Paranormal. Check it out. There you go. So, Courtney, I just learned something. You're the Spider Woman, huh?
There's a story behind that nickname.
Yeah.
We all
okay. So tell me the story, kid.
Well, back on the first investigation that I've ever went on again, we were kind of traveling through the woods, me and another investigator, and we were on the golf cart because it was a long trail ride to the graveyard we were going to investigate.
Sure.
Well, couldn't really drive properly, and he ended up smacking my face with a plant
Oh
via
God.
the golf cart, and didn't know exactly what hit me. All I know is I felt a spider web, and I felt something crunchy in my mouth, and it didn't taste too good.
She ate a spider.
That was my guess. Wasn't the best.
Oh, you've
But
become one with
definitely
the
a
spider.
memory.
And
Pretty
look,
much, yeah.
believe it or not, they're edible and it's pure protein. So you
It
didn't
didn't
do
taste too good.
anything bad. If look, you know now, if you had to survive eating bugs, you could do it. You know,
Correct, yeah. Yep.
it's not
Yep.
quite the same as a burger or a steak, but look, hey, it worked.
It works.
Yeah,
It worked. So,
it was pretty funny.
I want to talk to you later on in the show. We're going to see and talk about an investigation, a kind of a sample investigation that you guys did. I'm guessing this was in the greater Savannah area, but I know that you do other states as well and other counties outside of Savannah. What is the most requested thing for you guys to seek out? And when people call you, what are they wanting you to do? What's the most requested subject that you get?
The first thing is like, hey, I'm not crazy. I just want to make sure you guys are seeing what I'm seeing or hearing what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
We do a lot of cases with kids, little kids and stuff, so we've been able to help them. But the number one thing is probably to leave them alone. That's it. They just want to be left alone. Can you have it leave us alone? I don't care if it lives here. You know, I can live with it, but it's keeping me up. It's keeping my kids up. It's doing this and this. So that's the number one thing is just to ask it to leave them
Yeah.
alone.
Do you guys are you guys trained in how to set up borders? Do you know what I mean by that? Setting up borders?
You mean like protection and kind of like we call them
Well,
like
and I'm
protection
talking
force
about
fields.
in terms of spirit borders. In other words, if you go into a house with a psychic, and I know you use Randy Mabry. Randy's good. I know who Randy is. And he probably knows who I am. But I know who Randy is. And so Randy's pretty good at what he does. And I'll give him kudos. Randy might be the person to ask. When I say setting up borders, and you just kind of put your finger on it a little bit. When you go into a person's home, as Patrick just said, spirit just wants to be left alone.
Oh.
You know? Spirit wants to be left alone. They want, they want to be able to do what they want to do, but they don't want the homeowner trying to kick them out because, let's be honest about it. Spirit was in the home before the homeowner was. And that's what we have to remember. It was their home first.
Yeah.
Setting up borders is this, Patrick. It's very simple. Respecting spirit's parameters. You say to a spirit, or Randy would say to a spirit, this part of the house is yours. This is where you can have fun. You can live. You can do what you want to do. This is the rest of this place belongs to these people. It's their home. It's called setting up borders, or to use the word parameters. It's setting up a parameter, So as you investigate more private homes, you're going to see that. That'll happen. So Courtney, you're the evidence lady here. What's been the single most unusual piece of evidence that you've ever had to confront, either on the spot, there live, or something you saw after the investigation was over?
Like the weirdest piece? I mean, well, this was like at our other shop. We had a as you know, we have Haunted Grounds Coffee. It's our coffee shop that we do run during the day when we're not doing this.
Sure.
We had another location in Midway, Georgia. Well, during
Okay.
a class, we were hosting a 102 where they got to have hands-on investigating with us and like more hands-on with us, helping them out investigate. Well,
Right.
we set our recorder in what we call our museum because we have some haunted objects that we have to show for people. And our recorder died. But we thought our recorder
Mm-hmm.
died. So we left it in the museum. Going to come back to it later on. We went into another room to start another EVP and another SD's method, little thing that we were doing. And
Yeah.
we come back to get the recorder after everything is done. This is like 2 hours later. Turns out the recorder was still going this whole entire time. And so I was reviewing the recording thinking, okay, we're not going to hear anything. Well, we got this really awful growl and voice come through that said, I'm going to get her. It
Do you
literally
think it
sounded
was demonic?
demonic.
Did it sound demonic
It
to
sounded
you?
like it. It did.
It did sound that
It
way.
really did.
Oh, did you
Which we
hear it
don't
too,
use that
Patrick?
word.
Did it sound like a
Yes,
demon?
sir. Oh, I was there.
Really?
Yeah. And here's the weird thing. So we have like this little small haunted museum. When we go out of town and stuff, people will bring us things. We don't know, we're taking their word or whatever. Yeah, sure, we'll take it. It makes them feel better. Okay.
Sure.
I will tell you probably 60-70% of the items we have, like in this museum here that we have, I don't think anything is, going to get you or anything like that. But
Right.
there are some items that 100% we can vouch for. However,
Sure.
this back section where we were, it used to be a bank, and the bank used to get robbed a lot where it was located.
Oh, I'm sure.
And there was a lot of murders. And
Hmm.
one of the guys was making a night deposit box in the back and was murdered. And then
Yeah.
we didn't know it. We were doing an EVP session, and we got this name Ashley, and we had no idea who that was. And one day, a lady came in for coffee and was like, "Y'all be careful out here. There was a lot of murders back in the day." We said, "Well, we know about the one guy that got murdered." In fact, she said, "No, there was a lady that was a bank teller." And we said, "Well, what was her name?" And she said her name was Ashley. So then it all started kind of making sense. Well, in the back of the back room, we've had team members, we've had guests come in, get touched, scratched, attachments for them that followed them home
Yep.
and things. So we were trying to, fix whatever was back there. We think maybe the people that was before us, they were doing some weird things there before we came in.
Right.
They also had a small little coffee shop before, and we're doing some weird shit, man. And we were like, "No, you can't do this." So
Yeah.
that being said, we set it down and we went in. There's about 6 of us, and we were doing the Estes method. But we heard a loud bang, like something was knocking on the door or something.
Yeah.
And we have cameras set up, security cameras in case anybody breaks in. And you see Courtney open the door and look, and there's nothing there. Later
Right.
on in the evening, I went and pulled the security footage to see what that bang was. And we're not big on orbs. We can debunk probably 90% of the orbs or whatever.
Orbs are
But
bullshit.
this big,
Can we call a spade a
yeah,
spade? Orbs are bullshit.
exactly. There was
I
this
love when
big
ghost
ball
hunters
of
go
light.
in and say, "Oh, we got orbs." You know what? Shove your
Yeah,
orbs up your ass, okay? Because most of the
exactly.
time, orbs are nothing more than dust particles refracting.
Exactly.
Or bugs.
Yeah, refracting or reflecting off of light. That's all orbs are.
Yep.
Yeah.
Unless you
And the
see
cool
an
thing
orb
was
this big floating in midair, then you got yourself something.
That's what we call it.
that's what we caught. So we caught a big ball of light
There you
come
go.
out from the corner, and you can see Courtney open the door like immediately when that happened. Bang! And the big ball of light came flying by, and she opened the door, and she's like, "There's nothing out here. Nothing happened."
Yeah.
So we were wrapping things up. She grabs the EVP recorder, her and Sarah, and they're like, "Patrick, you need to come back here and listen to this." So I was like, "What the hell was that?" So then
Yeah.
we blew it up on our
Bluetooth.
Bluetooth, and it's plain as day saying, we think it's saying, "I will get her."
Yeah.
Um,
I'll tell you what, I would love to have that on the show tomorrow night to show everyone.
Yeah.
sure.
We'll
Yeah,
do
because I should tell everybody that Courtney and Patrick are doing a double header with me. We're going to do a Monday and Tuesday show together. So tomorrow night, I'll tell you, I'd love to have that. I'll get with Courtney. I'll get with you, Courtney, after the show, and we'll coordinate everything. My producer will be here by then. Let's see who we got in the chat room here. Here we go. Here we go. Our friend Moonchild. Hey, Mooney, where you been? I missed Moonchild. She's one of our regulars here, guys. Moonchild said, I tested out the Miracle Box app, trying to contact David Cassidy, and the voice sounds just like him. I used the Ovulus app at the Valentino's Crypt. She's talking about Rudolph Valentino. At Valentino's Crypt, it said danger, and my daughter broke her ankle later. Interesting. Now, what do you make of that? Moonchild is one of our regulars. She comes in the chat box. Been working, Moonchild. Here she says, been working. She works in the.
I love
she works in the
those
healthcare.
apps on the phone. Yeah, I love the apps on the phone, but there's one or two that I absolutely love. Some of them I think are just kind of BS.
Okay, let's talk about that.
Like whatever you want to sound.
I have. You're going to laugh at me, but I have all of them. I've got the iBox.
My favorite is Necromonic.
I have that. I also have Ghost Radar. I have Ghost Radar Pro. Do you guys like the Ghost Radar?
Mindy does on our team. She likes it, and I think Courtney likes it. No, you don't like that one? But Necrophonic is the one I love the most.
Yeah. There's a lot of apps, man. There really are. There's a lot of apps. I'll tell you what, I am up against. Let me do this, Patrick. I'm up against a commercial. This is our station identification break. We will be right back after messages from our sponsors in 2 minutes and 2 seconds. Stay with us, folks.
Do you have sweaty balls or volleyball netty balls? It's time to make them ready balls. The Manscaped.com Lawnmower 3.0 will do the job and clean your knob with its patented no-nick head, so your head will function as desired. Enter promo code WrestlingFuture for a generous 20% discount. That's enter WrestlingFuture for a 20% discount. Manscaped.com and Wrestling with the Future, going balls to the walls with Manscaped.com and the Lawnmower 3.0. Your balls will thank you, and so will we.
Jess wanted to start a business when something surprising happened.
Today I'm going to teach you how to crochet.
She started crocheting, like a lot. And her friends noticed.
Jess, you need to sell those.
So she signed up for Shopify and started building her business.
Yes, I love that.
And after a lot of hard work, this happened.
Oh my gosh, I just made my first sale!
You see, every day, hundreds of businesses get their first sale on Shopify.
We got ding!
And the next could be you. So when you're ready to bring your idea to life
And become your own boss.
build it on Shopify.
What's the Buzz podcast wants to welcome Radioactive FM 88.6 in Wellington, New Zealand, Radio Perth, Australia, and RTL Radio 102.5 in Milan, Italy. Welcome aboard, and welcome to the Buzz.
You're back with Mad Dog DeCipio on What's the Buzz, America's Best Podcast. Amelia Pitbull Chapman is on assignment. She will be here later in the show. Tonight's show, Paranormal Society of Savannah. And I am with the founder of that group, Patrick Welsh, and his evidence manager. I love that name, Courtney Bautista. How are you guys? Are you back with me?
Good.
Great.
There you go. I see Courtney.
Yes,
I
sir.
saw
We're
on the
excited to be
commercial break. I thought Courtney fell off her chair during the commercial break, during our Manscaped commercial. By the way, if you guys are listening to this on the radio and you're not watching this on television or YouTube TV, then you're missing a hell of a commercial. It's a great spot. It's a great spot. Let me put some information up here. The Paranormal Society of Savannah is dedicated to providing help and intervention with paranormal phenomena to those who are in need of answers, either in their homes or their businesses. They service the greater Savannah area and the surrounding cities, and the team was featured on the cover of Paranormal Underground and also featured in Savannah Magazine, the September-October 2022 issue. Also, and we're going to get into this more at the end of the show, if you are experiencing ghost activity or you believe your home or workplace to be haunted, please contact them at 912-429-3059, and someone will get back to you. I promise they will. And let's talk a little bit about what you guys do when you're coming up against a situation. Here is my co-host. Hot damn. Watch this. Watch what I do, fellas. Breaking news, Amelia Pitbull Chapman is in the studio. How are you, Amelia?
I'm doing good. Sorry about the late delay. It's been raining.
In fact, I just 2 minutes ago, I just said Amelia's on assignment. She'll be in the studio in a little while, and here you are.
Yes.
Well, let me introduce you, Amelia. This is Patrick and Courtney. They are the founder and evidence manager of the Paranormal Society of Savannah, Georgia.
What's up?
Nice
This
to meet
is
you.
the Pitbull. You've got to see her in live and in color. The Pitbull, Amelia Chapman.
Hello, everyone.
When last we were talking, oh, by the way, I have to tell you, Amelia, before I get into the rest of the show, Courtney absolutely fell in love with the Manscaped commercial. She loved it. She loves the Manscaped.
I laugh at it every time.
I fell out.
She did too. She fell off her damn chair.
Yeah, it was funny as hell.
I guess all girls fall off their chair the first time.
Well, let me tell everybody where we are with this.
I wasn't expecting it.
Me too.
And nobody is, and that gets everybody. They're expecting like this nice, calm, quiet commercial, and then boom in your face. Let's talk a little bit. When you guys have to travel to another state, for example, do you take the full crew with you? Do you take the full crew with you, Patrick, or do you take selected people? Patrick?
You broke up there. Sorry, man.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
I
sir.
said when you
You
guys
broke up for a second.
Oh, okay. I'll repeat my question. Not a problem. We're having some strange weather here anyway. So, when you guys have to travel to another state, do you take a full crew with you, or do you take just the necessary people?
So It depends on
how big the location
where
is.
we're going. Yeah, how big the location is.
Okay, I'm glad you went right into where I
we kinda
wanted
have
to go.
We have an A team, a B team, and a C team, and there's nothing wrong with being on the B team or the C team. It's just
Right.
if someone
sure.
from the A team can't go, then we got that group we can pull from.
You always have a
Majority
backup,
of the C team
looks
members live
like,
out
right?
of town. Like,
Perfect.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
always have a
Yes, sir.
backup. Good.
but we try not
I'm
to take
glad
any
you
more than.
said that
But at
because I
least-
want to ask you. There is a location that Patrick and crew did. I'm going to show you a little bit of aerial footage. It's probably all you're going to see is aerial footage. I believe this was shot by a drone, Patrick. And this is the Powell House. So let's take a look at the Powell building. By the way, Patrick, you see what I was telling you before, and Courtney, that
It does
building
look like
was,
the White House.
it doubled as the White House in several films. They
Oh,
actually used the front of that building
I see that
as
now.
the White
Yeah.
House. Let's continue. By the
Wow.
way, that place is laid out just like the White House. It's got an east wing and a west wing, the whole bit. That's a large location. How many people did you require for that sprawling estate? And tell everybody a little history about the Powell House.
Sure.
I know quite
that
a
was
bit about the
before-
Powell. Go ahead.
Yeah, so that's Milledgeville, Georgia, Middle Georgia, whatever you want to call it. It's the old insane asylum. That's what we call it.
Oh, wow.
And when we were kids, they would say, "You better straighten up, or we're going to send your ass to Milledgeville." And you didn't want to go to Milledgeville, right? It was really bad. I don't care what anybody says. I had a great aunt that was there that was just cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And I mean, she was a French fry short of a Happy Meal, but there was just people there that were just insane. But then again, they put a lot of people there like, okay, she had her period. Okay, stick her in there. You know, she talked back, put her in there. Things like that. So it was a really bad. They did a lot of lobotomies there and things. So that was in the beginning stages. So that was like 3 years ago or something. I think when we were first starting out, it was me, my dad, Walter, and another investigator named Jasper. And Jasper had he's moved since. He lives up north somewhere, but he keeps in touch, and he was a really good friend of ours. So there were 4 of us at the time, and because there was really only 5 or 6 of us at the time, the other ones couldn't go. And so we had been in contact with the director of Milledgeville because kids, it's right near a college. It's a college town, and kids are always breaking in. They tell you don't go in, and they're 100% correct. Now the Powell House is not the Powell building. The Powell building still looks good. You could go in there probably and do whatever you want, but you have to have permission just to walk around there. Security is 24/7. They will come. They call the police. So we got to be friends with the director and say, all we want to do, and they tell you stay on the sidewalk, you know, you can't walk up to the windows and things. That's why Walter brought his drone. Now, the Powell building, as far as I was concerned, I had a good friend whose mother worked there, and that was an admin building pretty much. That's where the doctors were and lived and all that
Right.
stuff or whatever. That's what we were told.
Right.
Now, the other buildings there, you do not want to go in. I mean, they're falling in, black mold. They've got asbestos.
Bad.
You know, the paint is chipping up with the, you know, the bad paint and everything. It's just, it's bad. And kids are going to jail left and right. You can Google it. I mean, they send kids to jail all the time. There is no second chance.
So, yeah, and I'm glad Patrick said that. You guys that are out there, and you know who I'm talking to, you guys that that like to search those abandoned buildings, you consider yourself adventurers. Do yourself a favor.
Yeah.
And do the insurance companies a favor and stay the fuck out of these buildings because you're going to hurt yourself. Unless you're a trained professional and you know what you're doing, stay the fuck out, please. Okay? Because I don't feel like paying anybody's hospital bill, all right? Now, Courtney, on a site that big, what is your main job on a location that big?
My main job. Oh, sorry. My main job basically is to make sure the equipment goes out. You can sign out. You know, me and the case managers do that as well. But my main goal is to collect everybody's evidence at the end of the investigation. So no matter how long we're there for, no matter if we have SD cards, we have camcorders, voice recorders, all that shit goes back to me before they leave. Because once that goes home, there's no telling what they're going to do with the evidence. We want to make sure that it's not corrupted in any way.
Amelia, welcome back. You are up. Questions for Patrick Welsh and Courtney Bautista.
Has anyone gotten hurt like during the investigation, like scratches or anything like that, to where it's like gotten anybody not to come back?
So
not to come back, but we've had
we've had people that had stuff happen and wanted to join the team, and they're on the team now. One of them is this biker guy. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever been down South Georgia, but yeah, we got some mean biker guys down here. But Curtis is really cool, and his wife is super interested in the paranormal. I don't know if you guys know about Grave Face. So Grave Face is downtown Savannah. It's one of the most haunted locations.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
There. So we did a paranormal class, and then we were going to do an investigation there. Well, he told us, "I'm only here, man. I don't give a shit. I don't believe any of this.
He's only here for
I'm only here for my wife. This is bullshit." I mean, he was talking all during the class and stuff. You know, so during the investigation, we go to the serial killer room, and Ryan Graveface has the largest collection of John Wayne Gacy's memorabilia, everything. He's got probably almost every painting you could think of, and I mean everything. Anyways, so he's up there, and we're telling him, "Hey man, don't screw around in here, man. We're telling you."
Right.
Well, he got mouthy, was provoking like crazy, and then he said it felt like he got shot in the back. So he immediately he kind of freaked out, right? And he was like, "Can I leave, Patrick?" So we left, and we got video and we got pictures and everything of him going, "Oh man, this is bullshit." You know, like I can't believe this happened. He became a believer, and now him and his wife are on the team, and they go whenever they can. Great guy. And so we had people get hurt, scratched. Yeah, scratched. We have.
I got bit.
She got bit at River Street Inn. Sarah got shoved. The Savannah haunting. So the actual house. Mark's really good friends of ours. Sarah grew up with him, so we were able to investigate before the movie and all that stuff. We were setting up our cameras and our monitors, and she got shoved and went face first on the marble floor.
In the kitchen.
In the kitchen. And
she still can't
right
walk
before that happened, the lights were flickering and everything. And I had looked over at Mark and said, "Does this happen?" And about that time, Sarah went flying.
And that's what you're saying, by the way, and I want everybody to know this, that what you're saying, by the way, is highly, highly unusual, because spirit, by and large, spirit is generally very benevolent. They're not usually malevolent. What's the difference? Here's the difference. Benevolent is good and placid, but malevolent is evil and dark. And spirit, generally speaking, is good. There's only two kinds of spirit in the world, as there is in anything: good and there's bad, and that's it. There's no shades of gray. There's no middle ground.
No, there's not.
It's black and white. It's good. It's bad. It's up. It's down. It's side by side.
Yeah.
That's it. So, that fact that Patrick took a moment to say that is quite important, because when you have a team member or a crew member that's being physically accosted by spirit energy, you need immediately, here's my suggestion to you, you need immediately to shut the investigation down and center your energy on capturing that energy, that malevolent bad energy, and isolating it. Because if you do not isolate it, it's going to do exactly what you said. It's going to hit Courtney. It's going to hit this person. It's going to drop that person. I saw spirit punch somebody in the face one time. I mean, they had a welt on their face, like somebody just clocked them. Okay, you don't mess around with that kind of energy.
No.
You drop to your knees and start praying.
Yes, because
you pray that the prayer of Michael the Archangel, or the Our Father, or Hail Mary, or you pray whatever comes to mind, but you isolate that spirit and you kill it if it's not already dead.
yes, and I think that's why something pushed me at the St. Augustine Lighthouse, because I was with my husband and he says, I'm so upset that we didn't see no ghosts up there because of the captain. And I was like 3 steps down and he was like 5 steps above me. No, it's just me and him. And he goes, I'm so upset we didn't see no ghosts. And something went behind me and pushed me down.
St. Augustine Lighthouse has got quite a history.
And I fell to my knees and I was like, looked at him and he was like way up there. And I was like, well, thanks a lot.
You guys know about the St. Augustine Lighthouse in Florida?
We've been there before, and we're going as a team in November, I think. Yeah.
Oh, yes. That's the best time to go.
Let me ask you a question, Courtney and Patrick. Have you guys ever attempted to investigate Penhurst Asylum?
No, we haven't had that chance. It's just
what if I can make that happen for you?
Far from us.
Far.
Oh, if you can make that happen, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, sign us
You
up.
guys, you guys know you guys know the history of Penhurst, right?
Yes, sir.
It was an insane asylum that largely 99% children.
Oh,
that throwaway kids is what they were.
No, wow.
Yeah,
I did not know that part.
Yeah, all kids. It was
the
state of Pennsylvania. The state had to come in and shut it down because nobody knew what was going on. They kept everything was so tight knit. The staff of that place was so in collusion with each other. They kept everything from the state. They hid records. And they made it look like everything was all hunky dory. Finally, they sent somebody in undercover, and they found out what's really going on here. They shut the place down.
Wow.
They were, oh my God, the children.
I think it was Geraldo, wasn't it?
Yeah. My God, the
I think it was Geraldo that went in there.
Yeah, the children.
And then they get aired it on 60 Minutes or something, or 2020 or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was awful.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it was awful, horrible.
That is awful.
There was an interesting case that happened recently here in Philadelphia. You guys are familiar with Eastern State Penitentiary, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, here's what they do. It is a prison. It's a former prison that housed people like, for a short time, Al Capone. The Birdman of Alcatraz was actually a Eastern State Penitentiary. Among many, many notable killers and serial killers. But when they shut that prison down, some of the inmates didn't leave. They died inside the walls of that prison, and they stayed there because that was their home. Every year at Halloween, they do a walkthrough with people in costume and all that, right? And they charge like $50 a pop to get into this place, right? And they're in line for blocks long, right?
Wow.
Well, they have activity on Halloween and Mischief Night like you've never seen in your life, brother. It's scary when the people dressed up to scare people are being scared and want to go home. Okay, that's how bad that is. I want to take a look at before we do this. Amelia, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Have you ever been in possession of an inanimate object that it's come to life?
Not that I
like
know
a
of.
Doll,
No.
Like a doll, like a coffee cup that moved on its own.
I've had something fly across the room.
Yeah, so did Courtney.
I have had something fly across the room once, yes.
Okay, I'm asking for a reason. I want to show you something. Patrick, Courtney, don't tip the hat, okay? Take a look at this, Amelia.
Okay.
Watch this.
It's the weirdest thing. I haven't even put the batteries in and it's working.
Wow.
Okay. That's a music box.
Mm-hmm.
There's no batteries in it, but it's working. How's it working?
Could be a phenomenon, right?
They're asking, she says right with a question mark.
Could be the
Patrick,
ghost wanting to hear the
how do you
music box.
think that box is working?
The only thing I could think of, because I mean, it freaked me out at first, and then I got to thinking, you know what? What if it was charged and they played it, and then okay, it worked, send it on its way, and it still had a little bit of a charge, maybe.
You're that close, brother. You're that close. Let me tell you why that. Let me tell you why that. By the way, that was Patrick in that clip. Let me tell you why that little coffin-shaped music box is working. Do you ever go into the store at Christmas time and a little button hanging from it that says "Try me," and you pressed it and it? Okay. There's no batteries in those. There's no batteries in those objects.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
What it is, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is. I'm going to show you exactly what it is. You see those two little probes? Patrick, you see them little red and white probes there?
Yes.
See that? Okay. I want you to take a look at this. Hold on. Let me get you. Here we go. They're connected to the top of that little coffin case, right? On the top of that coffin case is a little electronic probe, and I'm going to show it to you. And I wanted to do this slowly. I want to do it slowly because it's real. There we go. It's really important that you see. I want to make sure you can see. There you go. There it is. Okay. You are looking at, Patrick, why that little music box is able to work. It's an internal circuit that's self-contained. It works. Wow. It works very much like the same way you go into a store and you press the little "Try Me" button. That's exactly how it's working. And there may be a bit of a charge in it still. Absolutely right. But I wanted to debunk that for you. There's nothing supernatural about that. It's cool looking because it's a casket.
Right.
It's a little tiny coffin. It's unusual. But there's nothing out of the world, about that. Amelia, have you ever been on a ghost hunt?
No, I've never have, but I would like to.
Okay, well, I'm inviting ourselves with Patrick and Courtney because I'm going to try and get them up here. There's a lot of places up here you guys want to. Pennhurst Asylum is one of them. Eastern State Penitentiary is another. There's any number of places here in New Jersey. The old Burlington County Jail here in Burlington, New Jersey, has a history of being haunted. They used to hang people there.
Oh.
And they still have the gallows there. There have been reports of people screaming at night because they used to hang them at night.
Wow.
Yeah, they used to hang them at night.
Wow.
And there are reports of people in that area, even now today, of people, screaming. And people, the sound of footsteps running down the street. Police officers are called there all the time. And they know why they're being called there. And every time they get there, there's nothing there. You know, it's remarkable. I'd like to try and get you guys on one of those. But let me ask you a question. What type of haunts would you like to do that you have not yet had the chance to do? You're smiling, Patrick. I saw that one.
Well, there's quite a few, but we're going in August. I know it's one of the most hottest times to go, but we're going to Waverly. I went to
Waverly Hills, sure.
Yeah, and I went there like 20 years ago, but I know it's on the bucket list for the team. So I was like, hey,
Waverly Hills is fucking enormous.
Yes.
If you've never been there, it's huge.
Mm-hmm.
It is absolutely huge. You better plan on spending I'm not even kidding, a good 2 days there. Because you're not going to do it in one day. You're just not.
Yeah, we probably need to hit it. Well, we're hitting that Saturday, and then Sunday we're hitting Bobby Mackey's because it's only like an hour away, I think.
Oh, I know Bobby Mackey's. Yeah. Tell everybody about Bobby's. Go ahead.
Well, Bobby Mackey's is a country western honky. We call them honky tonks down here.
Honky tonks. Well, I lived in Tennessee. I know honky tonks.
Yes, we do.
And
I lived in Tennessee. I know honky tonks.
Yeah, and there's some spots that Courtney wants to hit when we hit Bobby Mackey's. If you want to talk about that,
I want them to stick me in that hellhole.
You want to go into the hellhole?
Yes, the basement of Bobby Mackey's, where most of the demonic happenings and everything just happen in that area. I want to stay the whole entire time there. Sign me up. Body cam everything.
There was a case. Can I tell you a story that happened there?
Yeah.
Absolutely, please.
There was a case of a woman who wanted to go into the hellhole. They put her in. They took her arms, they put her in, and she wasn't in for not even a full minute, and screaming at the top of her lungs to get her out because she felt she was in the presence of something touching her, poking at her, pulling at her. She felt like she was going to be raped in the hellhole.
Ooh.
She felt like somebody was going to rape her in the hellhole. And it's not a big hole.
It's not.
Courtney, it's not a big hole.
No.
But when somebody like that oh my God, it's crazy. Yeah, I'll tell you what, you better get some footage of that because I want to see Courtney go in.
Absolutely.
We'll have to have them back for that. After they go there, we have to have them back for that episode.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to be able to go with you. Jeez. When are you going?
Yeah. August the 5th and 6th.
and
6th
7th.
and 7th.
I'll be on
7th.
vacation. Damn.
Oh,
Well, you can come vacation with us at Bobby Mackey's in Waverly
there
Hills.
you go.
You're going what? What's the day? August what?
6th and 7th.
We'll double check. I believe it's August 6th and 7th.
Yeah.
6th and 7th. Guess what? You're in luck because the 7th is on a Monday. I would love to do this on the 6th and 7th. Why don't we do this?
Okay.
Let's do this on August 7th. Let's do live from Bobby Mackey's.
We can do that.
Are you up?
Yeah.
You up for that?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Amelia, write that.
I'm
Write that
writing
down.
it right down my head of you.
Make sure the producer, the producer in you doesn't forget that.
I've got a pen.
I'm glad
always-
you do. I don't write nothing down. Amelia does all the
He
rest.
always has me have a pen and paper everywhere I go. So
I never used to deal with pen and paper, right? Let me tell you what this one did to me.
listen to this.
I'm going to show them, right? This is Amelia now, okay?
Well, I can't help that, okay?
I'm taking notes like you don't even know, okay? And she thinks it's fucking funny. I'm spending a fortune on
Nothing
paper.
wrong to be organized.
Exactly. See, there you go. See?
Anyway, so listen, we're going to call it a night on the. Oh no, we're not either. We got an investigation to do. Amelia, I asked you that question for a reason because I wanted to build up to this.
Perfect.
Because we're going to go a couple hours tonight. Why don't we take a look at this? Oh, before I do that, Patrick, before I show this clip, give everybody in the audience a sense of what we're about to see here. You're familiar with the scene, so tell everybody, like, what are we looking at, and where was this investigation?
So that is Allenhurst, Georgia, right outside of Hinesville, Georgia. Looks like Jay, Hope, and someone else. Jay is the only one that's actually on our team that's sitting down to the right. He's our demonologist. The other two ladies are just they run the house. It's like a bed and breakfast, so they run the house. So they wanted to
I got
to hang out.
Go ahead.
So, yes, sir.
Okay, so this is a B&B. All right, let's take a look, and then I'll stop it along the way, and we'll talk a little bit. Okay, let's take a look.
You ready?
Oh, Patrick broke the rule. Patrick is already breaking rules. You're walking through the house with a computer. That's a no-no. That's on a big no-no list. All right, so I caught you with one. Caught you with the pants down there once. Okay, so hold on.
Yes. All right. What you got? You got your EVP recorder, or what you got going?
Just a camera right now.
All right, Patrick, what are we looking at?
It looks like a REM pod in the middle of the floor. I think that's what they call the pink room. I'm not real familiar with this video. This is Jay's
Tell everybody,
video.
Patrick, what a REM pod is.
A REM pod is basically, you can tell temperatures. You know, when it gets hot and cold, it changes colors. You got red, you got green, blue.
What it
yellow.
really, what it really does, what it's known for, is it detects rapid temperature fluctuations in a room. That's what it's really designed to do. So, and anybody that tells you anything else, the only thing it really does is detects rapid temperature changes, and they're very good at it.
Right.
Let's take a look. And we're watching. This is and it looks appear to be an empty room with some like the camera equipment, a vacuum cleaner. I see a chair up against the wall, and a woman behind the door.
Yeah, whoever it is responding you. Really good. It's getting better and better.
And Patrick, whose voice are we listening to here?
That's Jay. Jay is from Pakistan.
Okay.
He's actually in Turkey. He's in Turkey right now for 2 months, but he'll be back.
Okay.
He's our,
are you a friend?
Demonologist, whatever. Very.
Okay.
Yeah, that's Jay.
Now, this is the second time I've noticed this, but the woman in the chair is sitting next to what appears to be either a photograph of someone important to the house, or it may be some sort of tablet, but it looks like a photograph to me, not a tablet.
It's a photo.
Are we looking at a picture? Who is the picture, and why what is the significance of the woman there?
So she was known for these extravagant gardens and everything. The house was built right after the Civil War.
Right.
All right. You know who Jim Williams is?
Sure.
From Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. So
yeah,
Jim was very good friends with her. They had wild parties there. Wild parties. Even Danny, who Jim murdered, was known to frequent there all the time. It's about 45 minutes maybe from Savannah, something like that. So they would have these crazy parties. We saw a lot of pictures we probably shouldn't have seen. I'm trying not to, but they were very like, I don't know. They didn't want us really being. They wanted us there, but they wanted to protect the integrity. Anytime we thought we were getting something or whatever, they would say, don't post that or whatever. Because of course they're trying to make it into a bed and a B&B. She had left it to like the Humane Society or something of Liberty County, I believe, or something. So they were trying to make money. That's how they make money to help it. So they didn't want people seeing a lot of this. So it was really hard.
Well, can I tell you something? I sensed that, and not only did I sense it, but I noticed it, and I thought to myself, they want you there, but they're really not wanting you there. I think they want you there. Here's my sense, and let me give you my psychic sense, and then I'm going to give you my common sense. My psychic sense is that they knew you were going to find activity. I believe that. They knew you were going to find something. My common sense tells me they didn't want you to find it, but they knew that you were going to. My common sense also tells me that they tried to put the kibosh on this, but there's a problem. You own the footage. Now, did they sign a waiver? Did they sign a disclaimer?
Yes.
Okay, good. Then you have the right to do whatever the
waivers before we start filming.
You have the right to do whatever the fuck you want with it. Let's continue.
Thank you.
Do you know that?
Okay, now at some point, Patrick, somebody made the decision to lower the lights or shut the lights off. Why was that decision made? Or did it have to do with the fact that there's a REM pod in the middle of the room? Hello?
Did I freeze?
Patrick?
Can you hear?
Oh, good. Okay. Are you guys able to hear my questions? Are you guys still with us? I don't know. Okay, because you guys are completely froze up here.
Sorry, I think you were.
Oh, there you go.
Breaking up.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So here's what I was asking.
About
The room was well lit. Now the room is dark. Was there a reason?
Turn the light out.
Yeah. Is there a reason that the lights went dark?
Light? Is she here?
No, it's storming for them.
Oh, it's storming for them. I thought it was storming here.
What it is. I'm gonna let you walk upstairs and I'll turn off the light.
Yeah.
Don't have really bad weather.
Now, can I ask, are you guys doing an EVP session here?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, they're not even here. Hold on.
Yes.
Are you with us, you guys? Yeah, they're not here.
They're trying to log in or something.
Yes, somebody's trying to join in. I don't know what's going. Sorry, folks. This is live, and we are having a difficulty with our feed from Savannah. Here we go. So let me get. I want to. Oh shit.
There we go.
Yeah, hold on a second. I want to get. Before I go any further with this clip, I want to make sure that I got Patrick and Courtney here because you guys you disappeared and you froze up, and I don't know if we're having a problem with the feed from Georgia or what the weather's doing. But here, let me ask you this while the film is down. You're in a room, the lights are down, REM pod is in the middle of the room, and there are people sitting around this room. Are you guys doing an EVP session at this point?
Sounds like he's trying to say something. And
he's trying to say yes. Wow, they're having a really problem.
Okay. I think we're back now. Sorry. I think there's a storm start. But I think we're okay. Can you hear some sort?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just praying that you stay with me for a little bit. What we might have to do, because I'm up against 8:24 p.m. All right. So here's what, you know what? Why don't we do this?
Mm-hmm.
I am going to call it the end of episode 1. Patrick and Courtney will be back with us tomorrow. Patrick, you still with me?
Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, Patrick. So here's what we're going to do.
Yes.
We're going to go off the air right now. We're going to come back tomorrow. Don't leave, though. I want you to stay with me. Stay here.
Yeah.
All right. So why don't we do this? Let me just say goodnight to everybody, and we will be back tomorrow.
Okay. We heard
for
an
part
EVP
2.
Session.
We will be back for part 2 tomorrow of Savannah Paranormal, the Paranormal Society of Savannah. It's with Patrick Welsh and Courtney Bautista. We will say goodnight for now until I see you again tomorrow. For Amelia Pitbull Chapman, for Patrick Welsh, For Courtney Bautista, I'm the Mad Dog. We'll see you tomorrow night, folks. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.
Some viewers may find